Good morning, everyone. How are you guys all doing? I hope you are doing well. Is it a Wednesday or is it Thursday? I think it's a Thursday. It's a
Yeah,
Thursday.
it's
Wow.
Thursday.
The week flies by fast. And we are doing another episode of the Ask Avery show. I have Divyansh here with me. Divyansh, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh, India.
Okay, awesome. So is it like 8 o'clock there?
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock night.
Okay, sweet. It is 8:30 in the morning here in Utah, but I'm super glad to have you on the show. Divyansh and I talked a little bit. He said he's watched the show a couple times and followed me on LinkedIn. What can I help you with today? What can we talk about?
Uh, since when I joined LinkedIn, the first person I followed was you because I directly made my profile in data science, and you were the person whom I followed. So I watched your posts a lot and got inspired with it. So I want to ask that how did you started sharing your content or uplifting your content on LinkedIn? I mean to share a lot, but things do not go well with my
Yeah.
content actually.
Well,
Yeah,
well,
so
first off, thank you for your support and following. I mean, that means a lot. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I've been helpful in your data journey. In terms of like how did I get started on posting on LinkedIn, I was actually talking to someone else about this last night. My first post that ever gained any traction on LinkedIn was actually right when COVID-19 happened, right when the pandemic started in March of 2020. The US government actually put out like a pretty big initiative. They were like, hey, we have 40,000 documents about SARS and about COVID. They were like, we are calling on the data scientists of the world to help us understand COVID better from these documents. And so they posted all these documents. And anyways, I was like super excited about that. We didn't know what COVID was. Who knew that, a year and a half later, COVID would still be here. But I posted on LinkedIn and I invited a bunch of people to like participate in the challenge, and that one actually kind of blew up. I tagged a lot of these data science influencers or leaders, and they all kind of helped. So that was my first post that ever got big on LinkedIn. But in terms of you said that you've been posting out some content and it doesn't go great. Are you using hashtags? That's actually a big thing.
yeah, I use hashtags,
Okay,
but only
cool.
likes that I get are from my friends.
Okay. Well, okay. So so I would use probably 3 hashtags when you're posting on LinkedIn. Um, Make sure that they have big followings, so you can check how many followers they have. Because sometimes, like for instance, data. Like let's take career. The word career. Maybe you're talking about career. Careers versus career have like totally different followers on hashtags. So you want to figure out which one has the most and use that one. The second thing is, especially right now, I've noticed this. The algorithm is really catering to people who interact and comment on your post. So, for instance, one thing that you can do is, I have a decent sized following on LinkedIn. After this call, take a screenshot of the call and post about it. And I'll go and I'll comment on it. And then all of my network, not all of it, but a chunk of my network will see your post. And so that's actually one strategy, is to tag people who have bigger followings. You don't want to like spam people, but like for instance, you've been following me for a long time. You can tag me in any post you want. Oh, I listened to Avery today. He said this. This is why I think it's important. Or hey, Avery, check out this thing I learned or this project I learned. And I'll always comment as long as I see it, and that will also help you grow. But keep trying, man. Just figure out what works. I know it's a lot of work, but it's worth it in the end. I promise.
Yeah, true. And the next thing I want to say that your posts holds a lot of variety. I've seen like you are posting about your startup and your data career, and also about how you spend your time. Like recently, you did some trekking, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is also cool.
Is it?
So yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
So I've seen a lot of varieties in the post. So sometimes some posts get much attention than the other ones. So should we be very specific to what we are actually posting upon LinkedIn? Like if I am a data scientist, all about SQL or Python, I would be posting, or something most related to more common like politics or everyday life, current affairs, such
Yeah,
things.
that's a good question. I would post the type of content that you would like to see on LinkedIn. So the things that you enjoy, I would try to post things like that. So you're definitely right that on LinkedIn I've been posting obviously a ton about data. Like I try to give data tips. I've obviously been posting a lot about my boot camp and my analytics firm because it's also how I get customers and clients. And then I do post a lot about hiking and being outside and doing physical challenges. And you're right that like some of my posts get like 10 reactions and some of them get like 5,000 reactions. And you know what? I don't really care. Like I want to post what I find is interesting, what I would find that would inspire me and help me. And I just hope that it helps other people. And it's hard sometimes, like you don't know the influence that you have. Like, you're saying, "Oh, my posts aren't doing that well." You have no idea. You could have changed someone's life. You could have taught someone something brand new, and they just didn't comment or they just didn't tell you. Um, you just never know what influence you're having on the internet and whose life you might be changing. So I would always try to post the things that feel right to you, the things that you really enjoy, the things that make sense to you, and let the consequences follow from there.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you. The next thing I want to ask is about you are from a chemical engineering background, right?
Yes.
So how did you get into the data science? Like how did you get your first internship?
Yeah. So this is something I'm actually going to be hosting a master class in 2 weeks. On the day I launched Data Career Jumpstart, I'm doing this master class. I'm going to give my top 10 secrets for breaking into data science. And one of them is I call it to fabricate your own experience. So the way I got my first data internship was I was actually a chemical lab technician at a really small company, like 15 people. And we made chemical sensors. And we had a data scientist, but he ended up quitting. And we didn't have a data scientist, couldn't find one. They were expensive, they were hard to get. And one day I was like, I'm sick of waiting for a data scientist. Like, I know a little bit about programming. I'm just going to write a program and see how it does. So I wrote a program. I didn't tell my boss. I didn't ask my boss. My boss didn't ask me. I kind of just did it on my own initiative. And I wrote this program that did some basic data analysis, like no machine learning. It was pretty basic, but it was really useful. It actually helped me a lot in my job. It saved me like maybe 2 to 3 hours a week of doing analysis. It did it automatic pretty quickly. And after I finished, I showed my boss and I was like, "Hey, is this useful? Like, what do you think about this? I made this." And he's like, "Oh, that's actually pretty good." So, yeah. And I was like, "Okay, well, can I do more stuff like this?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So from there, I was doing 75% lab duties and 25% data duties. And eventually I was getting really, really good at the data duties that it moved to 50-50 and then 75-25. And then eventually I was just doing all data. So I basically finessed my way in because I did that one project without asking anyone. I just kind of did it. And that landed me my first job, which I already had the job. I just changed my title within the company. And then once I had that, I had experience on my resume. So it was a lot easier once I had that. So that's kind of how I broke into data is through that I guess internship. I was in college. I was working during the school year part-time. But the key here is to fabricate your own experience. If you don't have any experience, figure out how to make some up. I like to say fake it till you make it. Like never lie, but you can like finesse your way into different places
Yeah.
with with if you, especially if you do something and you can show your value. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. I mean,
Cool.
today many great opportunities are available. We can also now volunteer for projects, for data
Yes.
science projects.
Yes,
So yes, I am
exactly.
also looking for that. Okay, the last thing I want to ask is about projects. About what kind of projects should I do as a beginner? Yes, I have done
Uh,
a lot of more analytic based projects. Like I have not made any recommendation or any such machine learning model. I have built some basic insights that will actually help a business. So based
that
upon that,
That's good.
so
I like that. I like that. Do projects that would actually help a business. That is a good motto to have. Um, Other projects to do are things you want to learn. So, for instance, the first time I learned D3, which is a JavaScript data visualization library, I did a project. I actually did a freelancing project. So this guy paid me to build this dashboard for him. I had no idea how to build it. I just charged him very little, and I learned how to do it while I was getting paid to learn. So do projects where you want to learn something new. So like, oh, I want to learn TensorFlow. Do a project for it. Or do projects that are helpful for your life. So that's what Data Career Jumpstart is really centered around, is living a data-driven life. So for instance, I like I want to do better with my finances. So maybe I can do a project that like helps keep track of where I'm spending my money. Or I want to lose weight. So maybe I have a project that gives insights to, how many calories I'm eating, or how many calories I'm burning, or how many, kilometers I'm walking, those types of things. Um, or the other thing to do for the project is pick a company that you really want to work for. Like let's say Facebook, for instance. Like I want to work for Facebook, and do a project that would be relevant to them. So maybe you like recreate the newsfeed algorithm or something like that. Just like something you could put on your resume, put on your portfolio, that when you apply for that job, they'd be really excited about your project. Oh wow, Divyansh, look at, he knows how to do this. We do this at like we struggle with this. Look at his approach on it. That's really interesting. So does that make sense?
yeah, right. Okay. So that's all that I wanted to ask to you.
Well,
It was a
sweet
very
man.
fun session. Yeah,
Good. I'm glad. I hope that helped. And I'm serious, man. Tag me in some LinkedIn posts, and I'll comment, man. Just post what you would find interesting, and keep going. It takes a while for some people to take off on LinkedIn. My growth was pretty fast, but I've seen people be a lot faster than me too. Talk about what's real. Talk about what's important to you, what you care about, and let the consequences follow. You're doing great, man. I'm excited for your journey.
yeah. Thank you very much.
All right, man. Talk later. See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Bye bye. All right, Divyan, she was way cool. Really appreciate him supporting the channel and supporting me, and really like his questions. Did want to say hello to some people that were here on LinkedIn. We got Angry on LinkedIn. How are you doing? I like your glasses. Those are cool glasses. We got Abhine. What's up? How's it going? We got Marwa on YouTube. Marwa, what's good? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for always supporting the show. Appreciate it. We got two questions here. We got a question here from Seiko Shek. Hey, Avery, suppose I want to work for a certain industry. Should I do a project on that particular industry? Yes. I would even make it more specific. You want to work for a certain company, do a project for that particular company. But yeah, totally. That is 100% helpful. Makes you way better of a candidate. All right. And Molly Sara here says, hello, Avery. What should be a good platform to start blogging, and pro tips to start writing a blog? This is a good question. I'm not a great blogger. I actually have a website where I started blogging and writing notes and stuff like that. I don't really recommend that. I would start blogging or writing either on LinkedIn, either LinkedIn articles or LinkedIn posts, those types of things. Or I would do it on Medium. Okay. Medium's really cool. Just a really good platform towards data science. If you're interested in data, is a really good publication. The reason is they have built-in audiences, and it's just so much better to get feedback on your stuff when you actually have an audience. Driving people to your page is hard, and building an organic audience is hard, but using other people's audiences is a lot easier when you're getting started, and a lot more useful for them too, because more eyes on it. And you actually can get paid on Medium based on how good your article is and how many people read it. I have an article on LinkedIn or on Medium that I think has made $200, which, I mean, the dollar per hour on actually writing the article is pretty bad, but still, like, I wasn't expecting to make any money. I didn't do it to make money, but it's happened. Oh, I just saw that Deep on Instagram. Hey, can we discuss through video? Deep, send me a DM and we can talk. I see you're on Instagram right here. Send me a DM. Most of these people signed up. I kind of have a sign up sheet, so send me a DM and I'll let you come through. All right, everyone. That is it for me today. I'm going to go ahead and bounce. Hope you guys have a splendid Thursday. And yeah, talk to you later. Bye.